Monday evening. My name is Jessie Fairbanks. I'm the Director of Programming at SF Film, and I'm so honored to welcome you all tonight to this evening's screening of Saturday Night, which is presented in conjunction with SF Film's Award Night, which is our gala, that we are doing tomorrow. If you don't know about SF Film, we are a nonprofit arts organization, and our mission is to ensure that independent global voices are welcomed, heard, and supported. We are the producers of the San Francisco International Film Festival, which, fun fact, is the oldest film festival in the Americas. We need to get better about marketing that. We are also the producers of Doc Stories, which is a decade-old showcase that we do every spring. We do year-round exhibition screenings. We have an educational program that is over 32 years old and connects with over 16,000 public school students, K through 12, every year, with youth camps and with visitor in classroom connections with filmmakers. That didn't make a lot of sense in English, but I think you all followed. And we also have an artist development program that hands out finishing funds and grants and offers mentorship and residencies in our film lab. So we are up and active year-round. If you don't know much about our organization, please check us out at sffilm.org. We have some amazing board members in the house that I can see right here. Thank you so much. If you love film and you believe in independent filmmakers, like the incredible special guest we have tonight, consider being a member of SF Film. I also want to take a moment to, before I welcome our special guest, to sincerely thank Sony for being such incredible partners, especially Ariana Garcia, who is here in the house somewhere and is just amazing, and the entire awards team at the studio for their partnership both tonight and with the event tomorrow. I also really want to thank all the folks at ILM here, especially Rob Brito, Greg Grubsby, and George, who have been so supportive of SF Film. I cannot overstate how grateful we are for their partnership and for being a flagship of innovation and creativity here in the Bay Area. Yes, give it up for them. So we are doing this, as I said, in conjunction with our annual fundraiser for Awards Night. We are a nonprofit. This is the only time we fundraise. That we have a fundraiser. We fundraise all the time. We've been hosting this gala for 67 years, and we are honored to celebrate the wildly talented and deeply empathetic four-time Academy Award nominee filmmaker Jason Reitman, who is the writer and director of Saturday Night. Yes. Tomorrow night, Jason will receive the Nyan McAvoy and Leslie Berryman Award for Storytelling. Just to give you an idea, previous awardees include Sarah Polley, Tom McCarthy, Maggie Gyllenhaal, our very own Boots Riley, Aaron Sorkin, Robert Towne, Lulu Wang, and Roger Ross Williams, just to name a few. Yeah, you're in good company. As most of you probably know, Jason debuted. His debut feature was a smash hit in 2006 with Thank You for Smoking. He earned an Academy Award nomination for directing Juno. Everybody loves Juno. And Up in the Air, yes. His other credits include Young Adult, Tully, Ghostbusters Afterlife. He was also an executive producer on Whiplash and Demolition. He served as a producer on Jennifer's Body and Frozen Empire. And now he brings you Saturday Night, a wildly entertaining dramatization of an infamous night in October of 1975 when a group of 20-year-old comedic misfits forever changed the landscape of television. So without more babbling from me, please welcome Jason Reitman.
Thank you for that really lovely introduction, and thank you in advance for the honor tomorrow night. I'm thrilled to be back here in San Francisco. If you are already a supporter of SS Film, thank you. It's a lovely thing that you're doing, and it's something really important. And if you're not yet, what the fuck? What's going on? No, honestly, if you can support it, it's truly. It's a great thing, and it's an important thing right now as we've come out of COVID and exhibition and movies are in a bit of a crisis. So if it is something that's important to you, I think it's a wonderful thing you support. And not only because they give out awards, although that's nice too. If you were a fan of Saturday Night, it's so funny, we just showed the movie in Argentina, which was weird because we showed a movie to an audience who had never heard of Saturday Night Live. But there was something kind of great about that screening in that they watched the movie With no no anticipation of whether or not the show was going to go live at the end of the movie. But also, they really got at what this movie was about and the reason that I made it. I grew up, my father was a director. I grew up on sets. I grew up on the trucks. I grew up around people who make movies. And that's where this story begins. It begins with being in love with the creative process. It's about the way that we coalesce right before we go live. Whether you're doing like a high school play or a summer camp musical, or you're doing live television, there's a feeling in the hour before that this could never possibly work. This is never going to happen, and somehow it does. And I've always been interested and curious about that magic that brings us together, particularly in film and television, when we come from such disparate art forms, and yet somehow we come together and we make something. And Saturday night, when I got to guest write at Saturday Night Live in 2010, that was the great wonder for me, was being around the energy beat of the show right before it went live. And I thought, if I could somehow bottle this up so an audience could feel it, it would be extraordinary. And then one day it just hit me, like, the opening night, 90 minutes before it goes live for the first time. And that's where this movie came from. A couple fun things that I think are good to know in advance of watching the movie. One, the entire score was written and recorded live on set. It was done by John Baptiste. You guys know John Baptiste? Yeah. Cool crap. He acts in the movie as Billy Preston. Every day when we would wrap, he and his band would change into their street clothes, and we would show them rough cuts of scenes, and John would literally just start pointing to instrumentalists and calling out notes and mouthing out beats. And that is where the score of the film comes from. And as a result, we would bring the score back to set each day. It would go immediately into the editing room, and it became the heartbeat of the movie. And that's something that you will feel right from the beginning. And I think it's kind of cool to know that before you watch it rather than after. The other interesting thing is our sound mixer, our production mixer, I should say, Steve Morrow, who I've been working with since Thank You for Smoking, and is extraordinarily talented, pulled off this circus trick on this movie that really contributes to the soundscape of the film, and that is that he mic'd up, he ran up to 58 mics simultaneously on shooting days. So many microphones that he had to bring in a second mixing board, and he would live mix the entire production sound. That's up to 30 cast members. There was microphones that were built into the sets. The band was mic'd, and that is something else that you will hear and you will feel. We spent a lot of time talking about the look of a film and how it was shot, and I could go on and on about the choreography and how we shot on 16 millimeter and all these things that you're about to see. But I'm particularly proud of what Steve Morrow did on set and what our post-production mixers were able to do with all those channels of sound that we recorded live. Anyhow, some fun nerdy stuff because I know who I'm talking to. And that's about it. Enjoy the movie. Enjoy Saturday night. I'm thrilled to be here. I'll see you guys later.